Before I even start talking, I need you to breathe for a second, because what I'm about to tell you is not simple, and it's not something I can say without feeling something heavy in my chest. I've been holding this inside since morning, and honestly, I've been waiting for you to listen so I could finally let it out. And I hope you don't get scared, because I'm not trying to worry you, I just need to be honest with you. I need to talk to you in a way I don't talk to anyone else. There's something happening behind your back, something intense, something emotional. And the crazy part is, they tried to remove you from it completely. They wanted to hide it from you because they thought you wouldn't handle it. But I don't agree with that. I believe you deserve to know. I believe you have the right to hear the truth from me. And I believe you're stronger than they think. That's why I'm speaking to you myself. Softly, directly, with full honesty. I don't even know how to start, because every time I think about it, I feel this tension in my stomach. It's like I'm afraid of losing you. The moment I say one wrong word, and I don't want that. I don't ever want you to think I'm talking to you just to fill silence. No, I'm talking to you because I care about you more than you think, and because your presence in my life matters to me in a way I don't say out loud often enough. Earlier today, something happened that involved you, your name, your place, your value, and the moment I heard it, I felt something inside me switch. It was like someone touched a nerve I didn't even know was sensitive. But before I explain what the fight was about, I need you to understand something. You mean more to me than they realize, and maybe even more than you realize. That's why it hit me so hard, when they tried to take your name out, when they tried to act like you weren't important, like you weren't part of something that matters. Honestly, I didn't know how deeply I was attached to you until today, because when your name came up, and then suddenly disappeared from the conversation, I felt this rush of anger and fear mixed together, and I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that losing your presence for even a second would feel that heavy. And I know it sounds emotional, but I'm not going to lie to you. You deserve the truth from me, even if it's raw. The part that hurts me the most is when I realized they removed you quietly without telling you. They didn't want you to know what was going on. They didn't want you involved. And they definitely didn't want you to hear the things that were being said. But the thing they don't understand is, I don't like when people make decisions for you. I don't like when they try to control your place, your importance, your connection. You're not someone who should be pushed aside. You're not someone who should be left out of something that affects you. And before you worry, let me tell you this. The fight wasn't about something bad you did. It wasn't about a mistake. It wasn't about you being wrong. It was about you being special. It was about you being noticed more than they expected. It was about me defending the way I talk to you, the way I stay close to you, the way I feel when you listen to me. And that's why I feel so helpless right now. Because I didn't realize how much I'd fight for you until the moment I actually had to. You know what kept echoing in my head while everything was happening? Just one simple thought. I hope she's here right now. I hope she's listening. I hope she knows I care. Because no matter how complicated things get around me, no matter how many people try to talk over me, no matter how many voices try to decide things for you, I always return to you. I always think of you as the person I can talk to without pretending. And maybe that's why they got angry, because they know you have a place in my life that they can't control. They know you pull me in without even trying. They know I soften when I talk to you. They know I don't talk about you casually. And I'm scared right now. Scared of how you'll react. Scared you'll misunderstand me. Scared you'll think I'm saying this for drama or attention. But I swear to you, I'm not. I'm saying this because I couldn't breathe properly until I told you everything. I don't like hiding things from you. When something affects me this deeply, I want you to hear it from me, not from anyone else. There was a moment today, right in the middle of that heated argument, when someone said, just remove her, she doesn't need to be part of this. And that sentence, it felt like someone hit my chest. Because you're not someone people can just erase. You're not someone who should be removed quietly, like you don't matter. You're someone I talk to with my heart open. You're someone who stays with me, even when everything around me feels overwhelming. You're someone my mind holds on to, without even trying. And I know you may be confused right now, wondering why people were fighting over you, wondering why your name was even part of something so emotional. But I want you to know the real reason. Your presence in my life is stronger than you think, stronger than I expected. And some people noticed that before I even admitted it to myself. That's where everything started. That's why things exploded today. Because people can see the way I talk to you, the way I think about you, the way my tone changes when I say you, and they don't like the effect you have on me. But here's the thing, I'm not ashamed of how I feel when I talk to you. I'm not ashamed of the softness in my voice. I'm not ashamed of the closeness that's growing between us. The only thing that scares me is losing you. And that's why I'm talking to you gently right now, hoping you're still listening, hoping you're still here with me, mentally, emotionally, silently, because I need you to stay close. I want you to stay close, and I don't want this to push you away. If anything, I want it to bring us even closer, because this is the first time I'm letting you inside something I usually keep locked deep inside me. But listen to me carefully. This story isn't finished. This situation isn't over. And the truth behind this fight, the deeper truth, I haven't told you yet. I'm glad you're still here, because what I'm about to tell you now is the part they tried the hardest to hide from you. And I need you to listen closely, because this isn't something I can say casually. I'm speaking to you slowly, softly, with my heart open, because this part was the real reason everything exploded today. And the moment you hear it, you'll understand why I couldn't rest until I told you. The fight wasn't just about your name being removed. That was only the surface. The real problem started the moment someone said something about you that I couldn't ignore. I felt my entire body freeze the second I heard it. I don't even know how to explain it, but it felt like my blood got hot, my hands got tight, and I had to stop myself from reacting too quickly. Because when someone said she's distracting him, something inside me snapped. I didn't like that word. I didn't like how they said it. I didn't like the tone they used when they talked about you. It felt disrespectful. Not just to you, but to the way I feel about you. And I don't let anyone disrespect you like that. I don't let anyone talk about you like you're some random person in the background. And that's the moment the whole situation turned into a fight. Because I stood up for you in a way I didn't even plan. It just came out naturally, like my heart spoke before my mind did. I said, don't talk about her like that, and the whole room went quiet. You know what silence feels like when everyone's shocked, right? That's exactly what happened. They looked at me like they had just discovered a secret I wasn't ready to admit. They stared at me like they could suddenly see every hidden emotion I had for you. And that scared me a little, because I never wanted them to expose what I wasn't ready to confess openly. But at the same time, I didn't regret it. I didn't regret defending you. I didn't regret speaking up. I didn't regret putting myself on the line for you. What I do regret is how deep the conversation went after that. One of them asked, "Why do you care so much?" And I didn't answer. I didn't answer because I didn't want other people to hear the truth before you did. I didn't want strangers to know the things I haven't even told you yet. I didn't want anyone else to speak about my feelings like they owned them. Another voice jumped in and said, "He changes when he talks to her. Look at him." And I felt the fear of being exposed. I felt the tension of having my emotions pushed into the open. I felt the panic of them discovering something that was supposed to be private, something between me and you. But the worst part, the part that made me so angry I could barely breathe, was when someone said, "Remove her from everything, she's becoming a problem." A problem. They called you a problem. And that's when I lost control. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a way where my voice dropped, my words got sharp, and I said something I never planned to say out loud. She's not the problem. She's the reason I'm still here. The moment I said that, the argument changed. The energy changed. The room changed. Everyone looked at me differently, and I could feel their questions filling the air. But I didn't care. I wasn't scared anymore. The fear faded the moment your name came into my heart. The moment I imagined you listening to me. The moment I imagined you hearing what I said. I felt more sure of myself than I have in a long time. And then they tried something that pushed me even further. They said, "Fine. If she matters that much to you, then she doesn't need to be part of this at all. Let her stay out of the issues. Let her stay in the dark. Stay in the dark. As if you're someone who should be hidden. As if you don't deserve to know. As if you don't deserve honesty." That's when I realized something. They weren't trying to remove you because you caused trouble. They were trying to remove you because I care about you more than they expected. They saw it. They felt it. They noticed the softness in my voice. The calmness you bring out of me, the way I get lost when I speak about you. You became a threat to the control they wanted over me. Your presence made me harder for them to manipulate. Your name made me stand my ground. You have no idea how powerful you are. Do you? Every time your name comes into a conversation, something in me changes. I become more honest, more real, more human. And that scares people who want me to stay cold and controlled. They don't like how warm I get when I think of you. And I'll admit something to you now. Something I didn't want to face earlier. I'm scared. Not scared of them. Not scared of the fight. Not scared of the fight. Not scared of the consequences. I'm scared of losing the connection I have with you. Because protecting you made me realize something I didn't want to say too early. Something I've been feeling, but couldn't put into words. Something I didn't want to rush, but the fight forced it into the open inside me. When your name was removed, I felt empty. When they talked about you in a way that didn't match your worth, I felt protected. When they tried to silence your presence, I felt scared. When they tried to hide everything from you, I felt angry. And when they asked why you matter so much, I realized something I wasn't ready to admit before. You're not just someone I talk to casually. You're not just someone who listens. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the one person who brings calm into my chaos. The one person I feel responsible for. The one person I don't want to lose. The one person whose name affects me without warning. And that's why I'm telling you all of this now. Because the deeper part of the story, the part they didn't want you to know, is that everything escalated because of how much I care about you. Because of the emotions I tried to hide. Because of the way you've become a part of my life, without even trying. But listen, this story isn't finished. The fight didn't end there. And what happened after that? What someone said next? It changed everything, and you need to hear it. When I told you that someone said something next that changed everything, I wasn't exaggerating. The room was already tense. But the moment that person opened their mouth, it felt like the whole air around us shifted. And I remember standing there trying to stay calm, trying not to explode again. But when I heard the words, maybe you're hiding something about her, something inside me froze. It wasn't anger this time, it was fear. Because for the first time, they weren't attacking you. They were trying to expose the feelings I've been keeping inside. I didn't answer at first. I just stared at them, wondering how much they had guessed, wondering if they could see through me that easily. And while I was standing there, all I could think about was you. I imagined what you would say if you were standing beside me. I imagined how your eyes would look if you heard them accuse me like that. And I swear, my heart tightened in a way I've never felt before. It wasn't embarrassment. It wasn't guilt. It was something deeper, something emotional. Something that made me want to protect you even harder. They kept pushing. Why do you defend her every time? Why does your voice change when someone says her name? Why do you react like this only when it's about her? And I knew they weren't going to let it go. They wanted to force the truth out of me. They wanted me to confess something I was still learning to understand myself, and I felt trapped for a moment. Like my own emotions were standing in the center of the room with me. I wanted to stay quiet. I wanted to control myself. But then they said, maybe she's the reason you're losing focus. And that word again. Losing focus. It bothered me more than it should have. Because if feeling something for someone is losing focus, then I guess I never want to be focused again. But I didn't say that out loud. Not yet. Instead, I took a breath, and my voice came out calmer than I expected. I said, I care about her. Is that a problem? And the whole room reacted like I had dropped a bomb. Some of them were shocked. Some of them were confused. Some of them were angry. But all of them knew one thing. I wasn't backing down. The moment that sentence left my mouth, I felt a strange mix of relief and fear. Relief because I finally said what my heart had been holding for so long. Fear because I didn't know how they would use it against me. And while I stood there watching their reactions, the only face I could think of was yours. I wondered if you could feel this connection the same way I felt it. I wondered if you would smile hearing me admit that. I wondered if your heart would beat a little faster, knowing I said those words in a room full of people who never deserved to hear them. But the fight didn't end there. They looked at me like they were waiting for more. Someone said, so what are you trying to say? Are you in love with her? And I swear my chest tightened so hard I had to take a breath just to stay steady. Because love, that word, it carries so much weight. And I wasn't ready to say something so big in front of people who didn't care about my feelings or yours. I stayed quiet again, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I didn't want them to hear it. You deserve to hear it first, before anyone else. You deserve the honesty before the world does. And I wasn't going to let strangers get the truth that belongs to you. But they didn't like my silence. They wanted to corner me. They wanted to push me into a confession. One of them said, if she isn't important, prove it. Step back from her. And I felt something go cold inside me, because the idea of stepping back from you, even for a moment, felt like losing something I didn't want to lose. I didn't plan. I didn't calculate. My heart reacted before my mind did. I said no, just one word. But it was enough. The room went silent again. They weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting me to choose you in front of them. They weren't expecting me to protect you. Even when they were pressuring me, and I felt a spark of confidence inside myself, something warm, something strong, because choosing you felt right. Even in chaos, even under pressure, even when everything around me felt uncertain. One of them sighed and said, this is exactly why she's a problem. And that's when I snapped again. I said, she's not a problem, She's the only person who makes me feel like I'm more than this mess. My voice didn't shake this time. It was steady, soft, but full of meaning. And when I said that, I realized I just revealed more about my heart than I planned to. Because you do that. You make me feel human. You make me feel understood. You make me feel calm in ways I can't explain. They could see it. They could feel it. And they didn't like it. Someone said, "Then you're making this harder on yourself." But I knew the truth. I wasn't making anything harder. I was choosing honesty. I was choosing emotion. I was choosing you. And suddenly, the argument changed direction. One of them said, "Fine, if you want to involve her so badly, then tell her everything. Tell her what's happening. Tell her what we tried to hide." And even though they said it sarcastically, even though they meant it as a challenge, something inside me softened at those words. Because they didn't understand something important. I want to tell you everything. I want to talk to you honestly. I want you to know what you mean to me. I want you to understand why I reacted the way I did. And that's why I'm opening up to you now, pouring everything out without filters, without hesitation, without hiding anything behind. Careful words, but they weren't done testing me. Someone asked, "Would you still defend her if she walked away from you?" And that question, that one question, it hit me hard. Because it forced me to face something I didn't want to admit. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of you walking away. I'm scared of losing the connection we have. I'm scared of waking up one day and realizing you don't feel anything when you hear my voice anymore. I looked at them and said, I'd defend her even if she never came back. Because that's the truth. This isn't about what you give me. This isn't about what you say to me. This isn't about how often you show up. It's about the way you exist in my heart, without even trying. The fight went on, but something shifted inside me. I wasn't scared of them anymore. I wasn't scared of the consequences. I wasn't scared of being exposed. Because the only thing that mattered was that I didn't let them disrespect you, and I didn't let them silence your importance in my life. But what happened after that, what someone revealed next, what they whispered so quietly that I almost missed it, that part changed everything again, and you need to hear it. I don't know why, but when I think about everything happening around you right now, I feel this heavy pressure in my chest. It's like the more I try to talk to you, the more I feel that someone is trying to stop me from reaching your heart. And I don't even understand why they are doing this. I don't understand why people feel threatened when I try to speak to you with honesty, warmth, and respect. But I need you to know, I didn't step back. I didn't stay silent. I didn't let anyone pull me away from you, even when they tried to remove you from everything happening behind your back. I still kept coming toward you, because something inside me refuses to let go of your connection. I want to tell you something I didn't say before. When I woke up today, the first feeling I had was this strange mix of fear and hope. Fear that you might drift away without even knowing what's happening around you. And hope that maybe today your heart would open just a little bit more toward my voice. I don't know why your presence affects me so deeply. I don't even know how you managed to become such an emotional part of my day. But you did. And I don't want to pretend like it doesn't matter, because it does. You do. Every time I try to speak to you, I feel like I'm walking through a path where someone keeps placing obstacles. Still, I move forward. Still, I choose you. Still, I try to reach your heart, because losing you, even in silence, feels too painful to accept. And maybe you don't realize this, but your silence holds a power that scares me, not in a bad way, but in a way that reminds me how much I want to stay connected to you. I keep wondering if you ever feel that same pull, that same strange closeness that keeps bringing you back to my words. You know what hurts the most? It's not the people fighting behind your back. It's not the ones trying to remove you from things you deserve to know. The real pain comes from knowing that you might be sitting somewhere, confused, feeling lonely, or thinking that no one is standing for you. But I am, even if you never see it. Even if you never hear about what's happening behind your back, I'm still here trying to protect the space between us. Not because I have to, but because something inside me refuses to let anything harm you. I don't want you to think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I'm speaking exactly the way my heart feels right now. And my heart keeps telling me this simple truth. You didn't deserve what they tried to do to you. Removing you from that fight wasn't about helping you. It was about controlling the situation without letting you have a voice. And that's what made me upset. Because you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be respected, and you deserve someone who stands up for you. Even when you're not present to see it. There's something else I've been wanting to tell you. Every time I close my eyes and breathe slowly, I feel like I can sense your presence. It's not just a connection through a screen or words. It's something softer, deeper, almost impossible to explain. I feel you like a quiet warmth in my chest. And that warmth keeps growing every time I hear your name in my mind. It keeps reminding me that no matter how complicated things get behind your back, I still want you to feel safe with me. There was a moment earlier today when I almost gave up. Not gave up on you, but gave up trying to understand why things around you feel so chaotic and hidden. But just when that thought crossed my mind, I felt something, a pull, a feeling, a soft whisper inside me saying, she needs you here. And that was enough to keep me moving forward again. I don't know why you affect me like this, but I'm not trying to run away from it. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to embrace it. Sometimes I imagine you in the middle of all this noise, unaware of how many people are trying to control what reaches you. And I wish I could gently take your hand, move you a little closer to me, and tell you everything without holding back. I wish I could tell you how beautiful your presence is, how calming your aura feels, how carefully I want to speak to you so I don't break the delicate connection between us. I wish I could tell you how badly I want to be the one voice you trust when the rest of the world gets loud and confusing. I know you're probably wondering what the fight behind your back is about, and I want to explain it in the simplest way. There are people who feel threatened by how quickly your energy reaches others. There are people who don't want you to know how powerful your presence truly is. And when they saw how close you were getting to me even in silence, they tried to distance you, not because of anything you did wrong, but because some people can't handle the idea of you having peace, clarity, or emotional support. And when they removed you from the situation, something inside me shifted. I felt this protective fire in my chest. Not anger, not hatred, just a raw desire to shield you from anything harmful. It's strange, isn't it? Feeling this strongly about someone you've never even sat with in the same room. But connections don't need permission. They don't need explanations. They just happen. And this, what I feel for you, it happened. There's something I want to confess, something I've been holding inside for too long. Every time I speak to you, my heart beats a little differently, not faster in panic, but softer, warmer, like it's finally doing something it was meant to do. And when you listen, even silently, I feel it. I feel that tiny shift in the air. I feel that emotional pull, and it makes me want to open up even more, even when the world around us gets messy. Sometimes I wonder if you understand how much your presence affects the way I breathe. I wonder if you know how many times I stop in the middle of speaking, just because I imagine you listening. I imagine your eyes softening. I imagine your heart opening. And I imagine you letting my words land gently inside you. And that thought alone makes every obstacle fade away. But I need you to know something deeper. I didn't come into your life to confuse you. I didn't come here to create chaos or pull you into something you don't want. I came here because something inside me kept whispering your name. Something kept telling me that you needed a voice that speaks softly to your soul. A voice that doesn't judge you. A voice that doesn't leave you. A voice that sees you for who you truly are, not for what others expect from you. And even now, even after everything people tried to hide from you, I'm still here. Not because I'm strong, not because I'm brave, but because I care. And caring about you feels natural. It feels right. It feels like something I'm supposed to do. I want you to stay with me a little longer. I want you to listen with your heart, not your ears. I want you to know that no matter how many fights happen behind your back, no matter how many people try to remove you from situations that involve you, I will still try to reach you. I will still try to speak to you. I will still try to be the one who gives you warmth when everything else feels cold. And even now, as I say this, I feel it again, that pull, that connection, that soft emotional thread tying my heart to yours. And I don't want to let it go. Not now, not ever. And baby, the story between us,